Hello everyone, how's everyone today? Welcome back to Commercial Farming with the Dirt Road Farmer. Well, today we've got a few things to do. Now, I didn't video it, but in the last video we harvested 2 fields of corn south of here, where the 6 fields were. So off video, I went on ahead and harvested the other 4. So right now we've got 3 tractors up there running mulching, and down here, as you can see, we've already mulched this, and now we get into the extra step that we have to do. And because this was corn, FS22 says we've got to plow it. So you can see that we've got a 50% fertilizer state, and we've got 476.93. That looks like 477 acres to me. So I've got these 2 case tractors down here with some big plows on them. I've already got them programmed in, so we're going to tell them to go to work. So let's tell number 1 just to get on with it. All right. And he is off. All right, well, let's tell this guy to do the same thing. Now these are some big plows. So yeah, I think we're gonna go through this field fairly fast. Oh yeah. He is turning over some dirt. That is great. And actually, this thing looks like a cultivator, is what it looks like to me, but it does give you the plowed state. So, hey, that's what we're after. All right. Now we want to make sure that they get turned around okay up here. We've got them set to where they're going to skip a row, and as you know, they'll go across the field skipping a row. And then whenever they get to the other side of the field, they'll come back and pick up all the rows that they skipped. But, oh yeah. So, we can go up and look at the other tractors, and we've got 3 of them running up there in 3 different fields, mulching. So, let's go up there and take a look at them and see how they're getting along. All right, these are the 3 fields. All right, this guy is getting along just fine. Oh yeah. And you might ask, well, what is he mulching down? Well, we can get down here and take a look. All right, you can see the corn stubble stalks sticking up. Yeah, that's what he's mulching down. And that's very, very important. All right, let's go take a look at the other guys. They're getting along just fine. Now, I almost traded these tractors this year because they've got quite a bit of few hours on them. But I looked at them hours and I said, yeah, well, that's not enough hours. That's not enough hours to trade. No, no, we don't want to be wasting money like that. So we're going to run these big John Deeres. They do a good job. And, oh yeah. All right, let's go take a look at our last guy up here. And he is doing a good job. So whenever they get done with these 3 fields, we'll just move them over and have them do 3 more fields. And we'll have all 6 of these done, mulched. And I'm thinking that probably by the time they get this field mulched, or these 3 mulched, our guys down there plowing, yeah, I think they'll probably be done with that field. They're moving right along. All right, well, let's go check on them guys that's plowing. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, we're going to let them get on with their getting on, and we'll check back in with them here in just a little bit. All right. Well, looks like all these guys are getting along just fine. I'm telling you what now, these Case tractors with these big plows on, man, they're walking right across this field. Yeah. You know, I told you a while ago that I harvested the rest of that corn up down there in the south, where we've got those guys mulching right now. And we can go take a look at our corn quantity. And it looks like right now we've got 24,399,322 liters. Yeah. And I might add that we've got these 4 fields to go. And this one and this one. Both of these are 3,500 acres. So, yeah. And I'm not sure about number 9. Let's go and see what's in that. I do believe, yeah, that we've got this one to do also. So we've got 1, and these 4 is 5, 6, 7 fields to go. Yeah, that's a bunch. Now these fields over here, knowing that the corn wouldn't come in time for this harvest, we went on ahead and back planted these with soybeans. So this is a total, this field here is a total of 5,000 acres. And we split it in half. So 2,500 acres on both sides of this road that I cut through here. And yeah, that's all soybeans. And that's what we're going to be replanting with for crop rotation over here. All these fields that's yellow right now, we're going to plant all of them in soybeans. So, yes, it's should I say, it's a big farm. So well, I'd say, well, no, we're not even halfway through yet, because these two fields right here, number 10, these two fields right here, they add up to more than this whole south end, these 6 fields, plus these up here. So, yeah, they're bigger. As a matter of fact, you can probably take them 6 fields down south and these 4 fields and put them in one side of this up here. So, oh yeah. But anyway, that gives you some idea of where we're at and how far along we are on this massive corn harvest. Now, I do not run seasons. I just don't run it. But I run a 2-day seasons, if you know what I'm saying. No, we don't have cold weather here. We don't have snow or anything like that, freezing temperatures. But I do run a 2-day month. I guess that's what you'd call it, a 2-day month. So, this morning I've already fed the cows, picked up eggs, dealt with the flour down in the flour mill. So I've been up running since 5 o'clock this morning on the farm time. So yeah, I've already been hard at it, and we're still going. So anyway, we're going to let these guys get on with it, and I'll get back with you here in a few minutes. All right, well, these guys are getting right along. They have already reached the far side of the field, and now they're on their way back, picking up the rows that they skipped. So, oh yeah, they are flat doing a great job. All right, we can go take a look. Well, of course, we got to wait for it to save. So how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing great. If we take a look up here, these guys have just about reached their side of the field, and they'll be going back, picking up all the rows that they've skipped. So, yes, everything does look real good. You know, I talked a little bit about my grandma and my grandpa. You see, when my grandma, or my grandpa rather, when my grandpa retired from his job, he thought that meant that he didn't have to do anything. Yeah. Well, now, if I back up a little bit, my grandpa and both of his brothers, all 3 of the boys, had polio whenever they were young. Now, I'm guessing that maybe there wasn't a vaccine back then, or I don't know. I don't know why all 3 brothers had polio, but all 3 of them did. Now, my grandpa, you know, whenever you have polio, my grandpa had one leg that was a little bit shorter than the other one, and it made it difficult to walk. Now, I don't know, you know, if you can imagine uh, having to put up with that all your life. One leg being a little shorter than the other. But it was. And my grandpa had a lot of problems with his feet. Sometimes you could just see the dread on his face, having to get up and walk across the room. But he worked all his life and provided for his family, you know. Well, whenever he retired, he thought that what he was going to do is he was going to come home and he was going to sit in his recliner and he was going to watch the ball games. Well, you know, we talked a little bit about what all they did. I mean, my grandma and grandpa, they gardened. They had a garden, and yeah. Well, another thing is my grandma. She I guess, for lack of better terms, she knew that if she just let him sit there, that, you know, things would happen to him. I mean, he would develop other health problems and everything. So I can remember just as plain as day, Grandma hollering at him to get up and go do something, whether it be, you know, run to the well house, because in the well house, that's where they kept their freezer, and they also kept their canned goods that they'd canned the previous year, you know. So she always needed something from the well house. Oh yeah, that used to aggravate him to no return. I mean, he was, and he'd get up and he'd go get it, you know, and sometimes he would no sooner get back from the well house, well, she forgot to tell him to get something else. So back up he had to go outside, out to the well house again, and get something else. And you know, it was hilarious, really. Now, I know that my grandpa hurt, his feet was hurting and everything, but you know, I do believe that my grandmother was absolutely right in doing what she was doing. She was keeping him mobile. If she let him just sit there, you know, there ain't no telling. But still, yet the look on his face, and he'd grumble, you know, under his breath, and oh yeah. But yeah, they done very well. I mean, they weren't rich by no means. But the family, you know, their kids and us grandkids, his brothers and their families, everybody was a good, loving family. They always had company, always. And but yes, I wanted to tell that on my grandpa, and the stories that he would tell. Sometimes he would tell the same story. I bet you I've sat and listened to the same story from my grandpa 10 or 12 times, the same story. But I would never tell him. I would let him go ahead and tell his story, you know. to me, that was respect. Why do I want to interrupt him and say, look, Grandpa, you done told me that? No, no, no. No, you don't do that. That's completely disrespectful, you know. And I wouldn't do it. I never would do it. I'd sit and listen to it like it was the first time I ever heard it. But anyway, these guys are getting along just fine. It looks like every once in a while they got a little strip right here on the end, little piece that they missed. And I don't think I'm going to worry about that any. I'm just going to let her rip. I mean, no more than what that's going to hurt. I ain't going to do a thing about it. But FS22 says that after you plant, there's 4 different crops. One is corn. You've got sugar beets, potatoes, and sugar cane. FS22 says that you'll plow after every one of them, or you're going to take a serious hit on your next harvest. So, you know, we're in this to make money. Every commercial farmer is in it to make money. And let me tell you something. We're right on the margin right now having to do this extra step of plowing. Because normally, I mean, if this was any other crop besides a root crop, we would be ready to plant. And we could eliminate this whole step. But no. FS22 says we've got to do it. And I've never run a test to check and see how much of a dock you'd actually get. If somebody knows, please leave me a comment. If you've run tests on this before and you already know how much of a dock you would receive by not plowing a cornfield, I'm all ears. I'm ready to listen, because this is expensive and it takes a lot of time. So, but anyway, we're going to let these guys get on with their getting on, and we'll check back in with them here in a little bit. All right. Well, I am impressed with how well these guys have done on this field. Now, you know, this is not a small field, and they have flat just walked right across it. Real good. So it kind of makes the job a little easier. Excuse me. When you don't have any problems, you know. We can go check on our other guys. And as you can see, they've already reached the end of their field, and now they're working their way back. So, oh yeah, it's really going great. But I think we're going to call it a day. I know there's just not a whole lot to see. And whenever you have to do the same thing over and over and over again, you know, I understand. It gets boring. But that is commercial farming, you know. That is commercial farming. I know we have several thousands of acres here that we farm, and it's going to get repetitive, you know. But the object is to see how much money you can make farming. So now, before somebody does make a comment and say, where's the stones at? You're plowing, but I don't see any stones. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Yeah, I've turned stones off. Yeah, no. You know, in the real world, yes, rocks come up, small rocks, and if you do have a big stone that comes up, you go out and you pick that stone up out of that field. But to have to run over every inch of these fields and pick up these rocks, no, I don't do that. No. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, there's rocks in there. You can see them. Yeah, there's rocks everywhere. But it's gravel. It's you know, like I said, in the real world, excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, that if there's a big rock in the field somewhere, you go pick it up, keep from damaging equipment. But you don't have to run over every inch of your field or every foot of your field just to pick up rocks. So, you know, and I understand this is a game. So, but that's how I play it. I turn them off. So, anyway, I guess we are going to call this a day. Friendly reminder, if you've liked this content, please go down there and hit that thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. And I want to thank everyone that has. Everyone that goes down and hits that thumbs up, I appreciate you. I do, 100%. It's what gets this video out there for everybody to see. So, but anyway, I do think we're going to call it a day. These guys are going to finish up fairly soon, and the guys up there that's doing the mulching, they'll finish their fields pretty quick, and we're going to get on with our getting on. So anyway, thank you very, very much for watching.